And now, it's Ultimate Combat Radio with your host, Mike Stidham on 1280 and 97.5. The Zone, brought to you by Aztec Highway, WDFA.
All right, take it.
Welcome to Ultimate Combat Radio, brought to you by Aztec Highway. I'm Mike Stidham, and we're here in the studios of 1280 The Zone, talking a little mixed martial arts. It's Friday, the 18th of November, and it's fight night for those of you in Utah County. The Showdown is back bigger and better than ever. Riven is proud to sponsor Showdown Evolution, going on tonight at UVU. And I understand they got a great card lined up for you down there, including 1280 The Zone's very own Jan Jorgenson going to be fighting tonight, and as well as Mushin's very own Brandon Melendez going to be fighting tonight. Brandon Kiser, what do you think of that fight?
Oh, man, I think it's going to be a good fight. Both guys like to stand and bang, and, Chavez, as we still call him, is he's got heavy hands, and he likes to throw them, and so does Brandon. I don't see it being an easy fight for either guy, honestly.
I do.
I hope you're right.
I really like Chavez, but I think Brandon is just so much more experienced, and then he's just so much more refined. He's just a more skilled fighter. And I know that's going to upset some people in Utah County. And I love the Chavez family. I love the Chavez group. I love those guys. But I just think this might be a little bit of a jump for him.
I hope you're right.
Well,
I hope you're right.
All right. We'll be talking a lot more about that event as the night goes on. In fact, we're going to have Adam Legas. He's at the event, and he's going to be checking in with us and giving us some behind the scenes of what's going on. So as you make your way down to Utah County, stay tuned for that. This segment is brought to you by the Ultimate Combat Training Center in Draper, as well as Mushin Self-Defense in North Salt Lake. Now, we've had a special going on for the last couple weeks, and we continue to have that. Free, 1 week free mixed martial arts training, jiu-jitsu training, whatever it is that we offer at the gyms. It's all free. All you have to do is stop by a participating location and pick up your free week ticket voucher. You can pick those up at Czech City in Sandy and Draper. And by the way, we went there the other day and they were all gone. I left a big stack there the week prior, and so people have been picking those up and bringing them in. Aztec Highway also has them over at 3300 Southwest Temple, Britain's Family Restaurant in Sandy at 9400 South 7th East, Wasatch Deli, Savers on 4145 South Redwood Road, and then Planet Play and Leatherheads right there in the VF Factory Outlet Mall. And that's where Ultimate Combat is located. We're inside the mall there. So if you're wandering around outside looking for us, we're inside. You got to come inside the building. And I understand Mushin actually has some places they've got their vouchers out at now.
We do. We have vouchers at Papa Murphy's in North Salt Lake, and obviously people can just drop by the gym as well, and we will match the Ultimate Combat offer.
All right, well, good stuff.
I hear you have a new heating system in Mushin, too.
Only somebody that would have trained last winter would know the significance of that.
It was the most miserable training ever. It was you can't have to wear socks or shoes. You can't take your shoes.
Man, you bunch of tenderfoots. I'm telling you what, the old UCTC we used to in the summertime, it's not a spa. It's not a day spa. You're going to sweat in the summertime. You're going to freeze your butt off in the wintertime. If there's not steam coming out of your mouth in the wintertime, you're not training hard.
I'll tell you.
Did you make a luxury health spa up there now?
We did not make a health spa. It's not quite to the level of, say, a Showdown Riven Academy. There's no tile. There's no fountains. But our mats are now heated, and, man, it's a great improvement. So.
We had a fountain. It was the water leaking out of the air conditioner. But that's old school training, man. That's the way you're supposed to train. You get soft with all that soft stuff around you.
It's hard to get in there and get moving, though, when you're frozen.
Oh, man. I saw some of the toughest guys I thought I knew that used to come in there and just
turn into girls in the cold, don't they?
Man, Sterling Gatsuma, I got to call him out. I'll tell you what, he used to just freak out about how cold. I can't feel my feet, man. I can't feel my feet. Is this normal? I'm like, well, it's cold.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ask Rulon Gardner about it, man. He had frostbite on his feet, and he's still going. He's good. All right, kudos to me. I won the People's Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Congratulations.
I'm telling you, it was a big honor, and I really appreciate all your votes. It was good stuff. We do have a two-pronged poll question this week. Now, Brandon.
Yes, sir.
What if somebody wanted to call and respond to our poll question? What would they do?
Well, they could call 4-5 or 670-1280, or they can even text in by dialing the number 53318, and then they start that text with the word zone.
Man, he's got it down, Joe.
Oh, I was ready. As soon as I saw the MMA babe was absent tonight, I immediately got prepared for the show.
You did it, my man. I'm proud of you. Okay, so my two-pronged question is this. Simply put, Hendo or Shogun? And really, I think this is a great matchup. And I've been the guy saying since Hendo knocked off that Russian guy.
That one guy?
That one Russian guy. I think he's the guy to compete for the light heavyweight title in the UFC. I really do believe he's the guy that can beat Jon Jones.
The only guy.
The only
right
guy.
now.
Yeah, but I think Shogun is a tough matchup for Hendo. He's a tough guy to get through. He's going to have to get through this very, very difficult roadblock in order to get to Jon Jones. So I think it's going to be a great fight. Now, the other prong of this two-pronged question is what do you think of the last week's UFC? We talked about it on the show. It was a monumental occasion. It was on Fox. It was a big deal. Huge opportunity for the UFC, and I'm sure many of you watched it with somebody that might not have been a big MMA fan, or you had relatives that happened to see it. Maybe you've talked to them afterward, and they typically don't watch the sport. So I wanted to kind of get what your feedback on that is. So if you wouldn't mind calling us in and giving us your feedback, I want to tell you what I heard. There were a lot of people that were put off by all the talking. You know, you want to see Brock Lesnar punch somebody in the face. You want to see Brock Lesnar smash people's faces. You don't want to hear him talk. You don't want to hear Ariane Celeste talk. You know, I mean, that's not what your purpose there is for. And so, you know, same goes with Brock Lesnar. You don't want to hear him talking. And Dana White, he's a master of his craft, but the average Joe, A, doesn't know who he is and really don't care what he has to say. They want to see fights. And so, you know, I think that was one of the big things that kind of put people off. And then people tune in for action, and they got a bunch of talking. Unfortunately, the fights didn't go as they would like them to have gone, and that's just mixed martial arts. That's going to happen. But I think they should have had a better backup plan. You should have been able to anticipate something might happen like this, and they maybe had some cool highlight reels or some cool, you know, something that been a little more dynamic to play when the fight turned out to be a bust. That's just my 2 cents. Now, Joe, I want to get your take in the next segment, and then Kiser, of course, we're going to pick up on what you had to say about it in the segment following. But what do you think about that? Too much talking?
Way too much talking. Yeah, that's what I heard from most people that I had talked to about it. They said it was hard to get into it because they talked for how long? Like half an hour before they even got into a fight.
Yeah.
So,
and we had Jordan Breen on the program last week, and he said, hey, they're hoping to pick up on some of those channel surfers, guys that are going from a college football game or something else. And when you're surfing channels and you see two dudes talking, you're not going to stop and watch that. You might as well have Chuck Norris on a machine working out. You're not going to stop and watch that thing. But, you know, if you had a highlight reel going and you skip, everybody looks and sees a fight going on.
Oh, yeah.
You're walking down the street and a fight breaks out. Guess what happens? You stop and watch it, right?
When you're going through channels and there's a commercial about the UFC and they're showing the highlights, you stop and watch that commercial.
Yeah, exactly.
And people weren't even stopping to watch this fight.
And I wouldn't either. So I mean, and I'm an MMA guy, and I wouldn't have stopped and watched people talking about it. So we got a great program lined up for you. In fact, we had Tim Goodwin lined up to come on tonight, and I understand he's going to be working some corners down at Throwdown, and he thought we were going to be doing this from the studio, so he pulled on us on the last minute. So I hope you're listening right now, Tim. I hope you're driving down to Orem, and you hit a chuck hole or something, and we'll see you next week on the show. I hopefully anyway. I got lots of love for Tim Goodwin, and I wanted to give him a big shout out. He's got a great chiropractic practice down there in Draper, right next to the Treehouse Fitness Center. He's a great guy, and so we're gonna miss him tonight. We're gonna try to fill the void, but we do have Adam Legas calling in from Showdown, as I mentioned a little bit before. This guy's excited about this event, and as well he should be. Have you listened to the card that they've got lined up over there?
I know of the two main event fights. Those are the only two I was concerned with.
Well, I think they put together a pretty good card. And I think Showdown is starting to kind of rise to the top. And their event is now kind of considered the Super Bowl of what's going on here. And there's some others that are trying to compete for.
Well, I know when Tim Lund got called at the fight there, he made it.
Yeah, well. I have to say this with all candor I really think Throwdown came out with a really cool product, and then it really hit a rough patch for a minute there when they brought Rob Rovita in. He was doing the matchups there, and I'm not gonna lie, I think the guy's a clown, and he put on a clown show for a minute, and they've been able to bounce back since then. He's gone in a different direction, and they've gone in a different direction, and I think they're headed in the right direction now, and I really think what they've got going on tonight is going to be good. So if you got an opportunity, go down to Utah County, check it out. It's UVU, and I think they said GA tickets were like $15.
$15. You can't beat that.
No, you can't.
You're correct.
You can't beat that at all. And then Jan Jorgenson going to be fighting Lolo Tuiaki, and I think that's going to be a lot of fun. Those two big guys are going to get him mixed up.
And you can't go wrong with Brandon Melendez and Jerome Hatch, man. They're going to slug it out.
Look, there ain't going to be any laying and praying in that fight.
No.
There will be some bombs, and somebody's going to get KO'd in that fight. No doubt about it. And I'm going to predict that Brandon Melendez is going to win by KO in that fight. Even though Chavez he's a very durable fighter and he's a hard guy to put away, I think, I hope I'm not stealing a page out of your playbook here, but he's probably going to come out blasting like he did against Cole Rose and push right through it.
That's the hope, man. There's no secret about it. That's what the plan is. We just want to push hard in the beginning and get the fast win.
All right, one more time before we take the break, I want you to give out the studio line one more time, and really, again, I'd like to have your input on those two things.
It is 45 or 670-1280, or text the word zone to 53318.
Oh, my goodness.
Robertine would be so proud.
All right, we got more Ultimate Combat Radio brought to you by Aztec Highway when we come back.